What do you do when a fuse blows every time you put your car in reverse? Well, you get out common sense, wiring diagrams, and tear apart your car. Now, if this was a normal fuse, it'd be even better. But they have these fuses that were only used in a Toyota Celica. It fuses 4 things instead of 1. I have this fuse here, and that's the one that these 2 ports are the ones that blow, so I fused that so I could test it. So I tested it to ground just to make sure. And every time I put the car, this used to be the shifter. Every time I put the car in reverse, right there, the fuse would blow. So, what could possibly be the problem? Well, I got out wiring diagrams. So, on the transmission, there's a connector there called P1. And it tells me that that is a park/neutral position switch. Okay, what else do we know? We know that these are the positions that it does and where it sends power. So this is reverse. Sends it through that to the ECU. Well, probably not going to be grounded at the ECU or past the ECU, so it may be here. So what is that? Well, that's this. It comes in on pin 6, 2C pin 6. You can see here, 2C pin 6. And it goes through to those 3 pins. And I know it goes to those 3 because this is the internals of this box here. And you can see here it goes in there. It's jumpered to those 3 and goes out. So, once I found that out, I came to the fuse box here, disconnected the wires, and I tested pin 22, 23, and 24 to see which one was grounded, and pin number 24 was shorted to ground. Oh, where is the right diagram here? Okay, I don't know where it went, but it said it went through to the back tail lights, and it went through this connector, II1. And to find out where II1 lives, we have this, which tells us II1 is in there. And so I took this apart, and here we go, II1. And it's shorted to ground on the back side of it, which means it's after this and that way. And then there's a junction connector that it connects to between there and the back. And the junction connector well, I don't know where that piece of paper is either. That junction connector is right there. So it jumpers those 2 pins on top together, and it sends one to the left side, one to the right side. And so I've started looking at the wires. Where do they go? Where can it be shorted? Well, one more thing before I did that was I tested this side to see which side was grounded. And this side was grounded. So it's not towards the tail lights. It's between here and our connector up there in the middle. That black connector there, II2. So I started looking through, pulling the insulation off a bit. Then I found this. This looks promising. It's a little melted. I had to cut the carpet to get here. But we shall see whether this is the problem or not. Okay, looking even closer. This is super melted. I can't even pull it out of what it melted into. The clip is melted. Something bad happened here. And so I'm gonna see if I can dig this out. I'm gonna get myself a knife and some, I'm not even sure yet. And I dig it out with a screwdriver. I don't want to mess up the wires. Man, it's embedded in whatever that is. Well, let's get the knife. Try cutting this out. Okay, I got the insulation off here. Now I'm trying to just pull them out of this melted mess one by one. It's not completely melted, but they are sure stuck together. And I'm guessing once I get to the bottom, I'm going to find some that the insulation's melted through, and that's where I'm going to find my short. Okay, we got the wires up, and under here, you can see it's gotten through the insulation in some places. So now that this is up off of touching the metal here, let's go back here and test again for continuity. Sorry, I need 2 hands for this, but as you can see, or not here, I suppose, no ground. Now that is great. Now I hope that these wires are all okay, because that's quite a bit to be melted here. I can wrap them so that they're not touching this anymore, but I can't, I mean, I'd have to cut the wires here and cut the wires here and redo it in order to make sure that all the wires are okay. Now, here's why these are melted. So here, underneath here, is where the exhaust goes. So that's probably why they're melted. Either it just took a long time and they melted over time, or there's a missing heat shield or something. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But I'm pretty sure that's why they're melted like this. So now I'm gonna wrap everything up, and hopefully that fixes it.